Now, traditionally, you see these taught one of two ways. The way we're going to teach it is whereby Jair is going to be as tall as he can. He's going to imagine he has a little button under his feet that he wants to strike every single time. All the while, the roof is coming down and he's trying to press it up nice and strong. As he steps over and strikes that button, he wants to hit the bottom of his foot, specifically the ball of the foot. Re-engaging with why we call the foot the trigger. We want that trigger to go off every time it hits the ground. Now, sometimes you'll also hear these drills referred to as dribbles. And when they're referred to as dribbles, oftentimes the athlete is striking the heel and then rolling over their big toe. While this is a subset or a way you can do it, we prefer to teach the ball of the foot strike because it directly applies to how an athlete needs to run on the field or from an endurance perspective out on the road. We're going to start with having Jair step over his ankle. To give everyone context, we want to place your mind here. Imagine that you have, and Jair will imagine that he has, two downs, one coming out of each of those ankle bones. As those are locked in at the ankles, he's simply going to cycle over those as if he was on a tiny unicycle. Said another way, he almost wants to imagine he is in ankle-high water and he's simply trying to step out of that water every single time he cycles through. All the while, he stays vertical, not to get kicked forward, not to get kicked back. We'll take a look at how all this comes together. Okay, Jair, on my first go, stepping over your ankle, moving forward. And go. Nice and strong. Beautiful. Arm cycle with the legs. Up and over, up and over, up and over. And relax. So in terms of what the athlete is focusing on, literally all Jair and your athletes will focus on is lifting up over the ankle and striking back down. As they simply move forward, that is what's going to create the cycle action. Athletes should never have to think about kicking the front door or kicking the back door. As we discussed in the lecture, we want those legs to stay coiled under the body the entire time. Through an increase in speed is where we see that circle take form. So therefore, it is critical they lift those laces up and strike them down. The circle will take place on its own. Now we simply want to